do. Hey, Chef Dan Catanio here at Oregon Bounty Cooking Show. We're going to get cooking with the Oregon Bounty Cooking Band. So hold on, man. We're going to do some cooking today. Get out to my kitchen and rattle my pots and pans. Come into my kitchen and rattle my pots and pans. I'll teach you some cooking in my frying pan. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Cook in my kitchen and you'll be back for more. Let's get cooking. All right. Now, I'm going to move in. Okay. So you guys start the same time. Hey, Chef Dan here. Thanks for tuning in again for another show. Hey, you know what? I thought it would be a fun thing to do to bring the kid out in us to do some Monte Cristo sandwiches. Have you ever had a Monte Cristo? Well, we're going to have a traditional Monte Cristo sandwich, which is a sandwich that's made with turkey and ham and Swiss cheese, and then it's egg dipped and then fried in oil. And I like using canola oil because it's, it's not with these saturated fats. It's kind of really a real healthy way of doing it. Or you could just use a PAM spray or some kind of a pan spray of some sort if you'd like to do that as well. And the second one I'm going to make is what I'm calling a Elvis Presley type of little twist on it, which is with peanut butter, banana, and jelly. And that's also going to be all the Monte Cristo sandwich as well. So let's get started with that and let's talk about the ingredients. So for the traditional Monte Cristo sandwich, we have here some smoked ham, okay? And then I have some lean turkey, and then also I have some Swiss cheese. So we're gonna need 3 slices of bread. So I just have a regular white country style bread here that I use to make my Monte Cristo sandwiches. You could use what you want. If you want to use wheat bread, that's fine too. If you want to use, rye bread, I wouldn't advise it. You want to keep it as neutral as possible. You don't want to have these real strong flavors. So just use a regular standard white bread. So it's going to take 3 pieces for the traditional, and then 3 pieces for the Elvis Presley one, So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of I can't believe it's butter. You can use regular butter too, but you know what? Try as much as possible to stay a little bit as healthy as possible with using some non-fats and spreads that could help you a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this butter. I can't believe it's butter. And I'm going to just kind of spread this out on my bread. This is going to be the traditional Monte Cristo. And also, too, I want to just take my fire and my heat and just turn it up because we're going to put it into the skillet here. So we're going to lightly spread some butter, or I can't believe it's butter spread, on all 3 slices of your bread. That's that simple. Can you believe it? And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Swiss cheese. I'm going to put a Swiss cheese on each slice. And then I'm going to put approximately maybe 2 or 3 slices of ham on each of the breads too as well. Actually on one side. And then we're going to put this right on top, okay, the second piece of bread. And then I'm going to put the turkey, a couple slices of turkey on there. Okay, Swiss cheese, turkey. Okay, and then we're going to top it off with the third one. So we're looking at a 3-layer sandwich. So if you just do like an overhead shot here of our sandwich, okay. So it's a 3-layer sandwich. You can see there's 3 slices of bread there. Ham, Swiss cheese, turkey, Swiss cheese on the sandwich. Okay, then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to take and put a little bit of our canola oil inside of our pan and let that get heated up here a bit. Okay, so we're just going to add some really light. You don't want to add too much in there, but just enough to coat the bottom of your pan. And if you don't have one of these electric skillet, guess what? You could use a frying pan just as well. You don't need to have one of these little fancier type electric skillets. If you don't have those, remember, a nonstick pan, skillet pan is great, or just a frying pan, but you got to make sure you get it real super hot, okay? So I like using a serrated edge blade. If you could just have another overhead shot of that. I just put a nice serrated edge blade to cut my sandwich with because it saws a little bit better and it doesn't mush down on your bread when you cut. Okay, so you're going to just trim all the edges off your Monte Cristo. Okay, just saw back and forth. Okay, move this stuff out of the way. Throw it out. Okay, so this is what it looks like that. Overhead shot again. Okay, so it's a Monte Cristo sandwich. You trim off most of the edges of the crust on there. Okay, and then at this point, we're going to take and cut it in little triangle pieces. I like giving these overhead shots because it's kind of nice to see that. So here's the little triangle piece again. Okay, so they're overhead shots of our triangle cuts of our Monte Cristo. Okay, and then at this point, you get these toothpicks. And I like to just kind of pull off the little small the frills from the top of them. And then you're just going to stick straight through your sandwich, right through it. Put this toothpick right through. And each one. Very simple, right? Not a difficult thing. Okay. Now, what's the good part about this and the fun part about this is you could have your Monte Cristos ready today and then put them in the refrigerator in something like this little pan here, overhead shot, in like aluminum pan of some sort. And then you could just take and add your Monte Cristos in there, cover them real good with some saran wrap, and then fry them the next following day. So you're keeping yourself ahead of the game and being smart as far as like getting your prep done. I said prep. Okay, so then the next one we're going to do is a Elvis Presley one, with bananas and a little bit of peanut butter. Oh, so good. So good, little fattening, but you know what? If you just eat a little bit of it, that's cool. All right, so we're going to take the same spread, turn that fire down a little bit. We're going to take that same spread and then just kind of spread it around our 3 slices of our bread. Okay. I like to use this butter because it just prevents having to have that peanut butter going down in your tummy so heavy. It kind of lightens it up a little bit with putting a spread or some kind of a light butter over it. Okay, and then at this point, I'm going to just take some peanut butter. I like using the creamy peanut butter because it actually takes and spreads really easy. Okay. Okay, that's 1. And I like to just go with 2 on there. 2 of my breads. Because the peanut butter and jelly go well together, so we're going to also put the peanut butter and jelly on both slices of the bread. Okay? And then I'm going to take some of the jelly. Okay? And I'm going to put jelly on one of them. So far, so easy, right, gang? Real simple. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich, except we're going to put a little bit of an Elvis twist on this. And we're going to put some bananas on my other slice of my bread with the butter. So just a regular banana, okay? And then I'm going to take my regular banana, wipe my knife off here, and then I'm going to slice my banana super thin. And then I'm going to place that on my sandwich. I'll give you another overhead shot on that after I get these all prepped up on my peanut butter sandwich. So you want to use about a half of banana per sandwich. Is usually the rule of thumb. If you have to use a little bit more, that's cool. Not a big deal. Okay, so a little overhead shot on that. Peanut butter and jam. There's a banana, and then there's a peanut butter. Okay, and then what you do is you just put the peanut butter and jam right on top. Okay, that's simple, and you just cover it with a third. So you have that 3-layer of the bread here, like a triple-decker club sandwich, so to speak. Okay? Okay, and then at that point, what we do is we just lightly trim off the crust. You know, if you want to leave the crust on, you can leave the crust on. You know, there's a habit of doing a Monte Cristo traditionally. It's just to trim that crust off your bread. As I say, if you want to leave the crust on there, you can leave it on there. Not a big deal. Again, then do the same thing. Cut it in half lengthwise or diagonally, and then we cut it again to where we have the peanut butter and jelly sandwich as like that with the banana in it. So that's the idea, okay? Served like that. Okay, and then with this too, we're going to put some frilled toothpicks. You could get these at a local store, a party store or so. These little frilled picks. Just give a little shot overhead too on those. You can kind of take a look and see what they look like. Okay, so this is a regular little frilled toothpick. So you got to take off as much as you can on the frill, and then stick them right through the bread. Okay. This kind of holds them together. All right, so if you have some kids coming over, adults coming over for a lunch, you have your prep done to do it for either that day or that afternoon. You do it in the morning, or you take and put a little overhead shot there. You just take and you put them in a pan like this, and you save them overnight with a little bit of clear wrap over them, and they're ready to go as a Monte Cristo the next day. Okay? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these out of our pan, because I'm going to use the same pan to put our egg batter in. Okay? So I'm going to put a little bit of egg batter. It's just a really whipped up egg. If you want to use egg beaters, you could do that too. It's up to you to use egg beaters if you want. These are already whipped up. They're a good fresh farm egg that I have here. All right, so the first one I'm going to do is our Monte Cristo sandwich that is with our traditional, which is done with a, okay. So you want to coat that all the way through. I'll just show you another overhead shot on that so you can see that it's being coated all the way around the sandwich itself. Okay, so it's just coated real light. You don't have to go real heavy. And then it's going to go right into the pan. Okay, I'm going to fry those. Okay, same thing. Just coat them real lightly with the egg. Then I'm going to put those down. You can hear it frying right now, which is cool. Okay. And the fun part about it is you could do these Monte Cristo sandwiches together in one large skillet all at one time. Okay, so now with the other Elvis Presley one, which I call the Elvis Monte Cristo because it has peanut butter in it, I add a little bit of orange juice into my egg mix. So I'm just going to pour just a little bit of the orange juice in there, okay, to thin it down a little bit, and whip that up. Egg and orange juice, give it a little bit of a twist. Okay, and then I'm going to just take my same thing, dip in my Monte Cristo sandwiches with my Elvis Presley one, and set that aside over here. Put it in the fryer or skillet. You don't want to coat it too much with the egg because you don't want it soggy, but you want to make it enough where it's going to make a nice golden crispness to it. Okay, then I'm just kind of messing with it here, and then as soon as you get them seared in, what you could do is you could also put the make sure that your toothpick could come out, because you certainly don't want that in there. But they'll fry up pretty good. You just want to make sure that they don't slip out when you do that. Okay, so the pan we're going to take and set aside. We're done with that. As I mentioned before, just kind of clean up because your sandwiches are all frying in your pan, which is kind of cool. You clean yourself up here a little bit. Wipe down your little spatulas.